Oh. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, damn it. Oh. We're all familiar with gravity, right? What goes up must come down. And we're all probably familiar with the famous tale of how gravity was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton in the year 1665. See, the story goes that Newton was sitting under an apple tree in his hometown when an apple fell from the tree and smacked the top of his dome. And it was that simple event of the apple falling from the tree that got him thinking about that mysterious force that pulls objects to the ground. See, this eventually led to Newton's theory of gravity, which still explains a lot about the universe even till this day. But see, what I find most inspiring about this tale is not how he saw an apple fall from a tree and began pondering the laws of motion, but how he kept productive despite the deadly circumstances that were happening around him. See, at the time, Isaac Newton was a student at Cambridge University when the bubonic plague took over Europe. It quickly became a serious matter, which led to the school closing its doors and going on lockdown to help prevent the spread of the deadly bacteria. Similar to what's going on now with COVID-19. All the students, including Newton, were sent home to basically self-quarantine themselves, basically what we are being told to do. Cambridge kept its doors closed until the plague passed, which took about 1 whole year. And in that year, Sir Isaac Newton developed not only the theory of gravity, but also invented the early forms of mathematics that eventually became calculus. But see, even at a time of crisis, uncertainty, death, and isolation, Isaac Newton did what he could do. He isolated himself and he controlled his environment, I'm sure, but then proceeded to fill that time at home with something productive, something creative, something of his passion. See, they called it his Year of Wonders, and eventually he went on to be the first English scientist knighted for his work. He became a legend. See, Newton got shit done during his quarantine, and he didn't let external factors take complete control of his life. So what is this story all about? What am I getting at here? Let's take a little inspiration from Isaac Newton's year of quarantine and use this time to be productive. Let's turn crisis into productivity or inspiration or creativity. See, my dad works for a major airline and was telling me that he was speaking to a pilot earlier this week who was piloting a plane from LA to New York. The entire Airbus, the airplane that holds hundreds of passengers on this direct flight between two major cities, had only one passenger. See, the world is definitely at a slowdown right now. Businesses are closed, events are canceled, airlines are putting down half their fleet. People are in a panic and nervously buying 6 months worth of toilet paper because apparently that's going to be the new currency should we enter an apocalyptic state or something. Store shelves are empty, schools are shut down, my kids home from school maybe till the end of summer. But even with that going on, there's an awkwardly beautiful opportunity that we have at hand because of it. We will never live in such a situation again. So let's embrace it. I mean, what the hell else are we gonna do? Panic and worry ourselves sick as we sit on our mountain of toilet paper? No thanks, not for me, and hopefully not for you either. See, there are things that we can control, and there are things that we can't control. Let's focus on the things we can control, and only on the things we can control. Because spending any attention on things we cannot control, change, or manipulate is silliness and wasted energy. So then, what can we control in a situation like this? Many things, honestly, and I'm going to leave them typed out for you in the description down below so you can go and read them for yourself, because there's one that I want to briefly touch on and spend my time on, and it's the main point of this video. And it's to use your time wisely, just like Isaac Newton did while he was in his quarantine. Don't let the possible weeks or even months of isolation be for nothing. Don't just sit around scrolling through social media. Matter of fact, I think it's best to stay off of social media almost entirely, especially at a time like this. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've personally started a social media fast or a dopamine detox by deleting Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter off of my phone. And I shit you not, I have seen some incredible results just in the first week alone. I've had my most productive days on this quarantine because I've significantly reduced the time I spend on social media. Not only my productivity and motivation has gone up, but overall my well-being, I'm less anxious and I'm a little bit more happy. So if you've ever felt addicted to your phone, have had trouble focusing or being productive or being motivated, if you've ever had issues with self-worth or are constantly comparing yourself to others, you have slight bounds of anxiety or depression, a social media detox may be helpful. So make sure to subscribe to the channel because that's the next video that I'm working on, and you're gonna really enjoy it once it comes out. But as I was saying, don't use this time of isolation to do nothing, okay? Don't sit on the couch and let your kids just be on their mobile devices all day just because their school's on lockdown. Be proactive and turn this shit show into a happy ending. My kid's school is closed down for the next 3 weeks, and there's even rumors that it'll be closed down possibly till even the end of summer. That's a long ass time. What the hell am I gonna do for that long? But seriously, I'm not using this time to complain about the shift that had in me and my girlfriend's life or schedule. I'm using that time to develop a closer bond to my daughter. I'm using that time to challenge myself to come up with new ways we can do cool shit, new creative things. How can I keep her learning? How can I keep her engaged and keep her mind working well? And another big challenge is how to keep her active, right? Because they usually have PE classes. But I'm not sitting around complaining about those things. I'm gonna do something about it. Maybe there's something you've been wanting to learn for the last few years, but have always felt like you haven't had the time to do it. Well, now is your chance. You have the opportunity to do it now. Look up the tutorials on YouTube. You can learn anything you want because of the internet. I've been spending my extra time learning visual effects on YouTube for free in a program called After Effects. Last week, you saw me shrink down to the size of a pill bottle, and then at the end of that video, you saw me disintegrate like Thanos. That was me testing out what I've been learning. Then today, you saw me crash through the goddamn roof. That shit hurt. That wasn't visual effects. That was real. I got dust in my hair to prove it. I think you get the point. There are so many ways that we can turn this crisis into a productive and creative time, a time of growth. See, you can't control how long we have to engage in self-isolation and social distancing, but you can control whether or not you spend that time productively. The version of you who steps out of quarantine at some future date can be better than the version that entered it, if you try. That's all that we have for this week. I hope you enjoyed this message. I want to bring you some sort of value entertainment during this time of crisis. We're all at home. We need to turn off the news and listen to something inspiring, something educational, something that's going to entertain us and keep our moods up. So thank you very much for watching. Please like this video if you found any value, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.